Definitely something else.
Excited.
So in this patch, No Tails played it, Bulldogs played it, Ritsu played it once, Iwo played it, KYXY, Black. Those are the ones that I could find. It's quite a bunch of players, but yeah, it's definitely a throwback for Sylar. And I always liked that it was one of his signature heroes because like the hero is also historically known as the Scylla Bear, and he's Sylar, and
Goes together.
yeah.
He doesn't have a funny name bear though. He doesn't actually have a. Does he have any cosmetics? Why doesn't he have a? Does he just like the normal bear?
Yeah, I think some people think that the custom bears are paid to lose. They're more obvious, and
1 minute
some of
until
them
30
really do
seconds
seem like
after
bigger
battle.
or more standouts to me.
Some of them are pay to win though. Well, especially for a period of time, the red panda one hitbox was only half of the bear. The
Yeah,
front
it's
half of the
difficult to
bear
click
you
on.
could click on. The back half you couldn't touch it. Stop. So, universe. Oh wait a second. But before I forget, I'm going to close the bloody cosmetics window. I've done that before. I've left it open for like 20 minutes before and just not realized late at night.
And
Down a bot.
resolve
Oh, it's a
your
good old Dragon Slave there from DDC across the bridge.
Gold given.
It's up at top. Clockwork gets the bounty rune. Ember Spirit gets the one down at bottom. But the universe clock up at top against Sylar. 1v1, Lone Druid. Aggressive tri-lane maybe here. DDC. Lena with RTK Darkseer. And who's left over? MMY, Shadow Shaman. Oh, the old Ember Spirit mid. They've got an aggressive Observer Ward looking over the cliff first. Shady. Little old Sumail playing the Queen of Pain getting zapped down already. But safely in tri-lane. PPD. Spear, Dazzle, and Lion. RTZ himself on the anti-mage. It's an aggressive dual lane, actually.
I think Lena is here just to help Darkseer get level 2.
Still difficult. Oh, look at that, honestly. Demolished.
I very much expect DDC to leave once RTK has level 2. I'm not completely sure. Maybe he even leaves right now. It doesn't seem like long-term the kind of aggressive dual lane you'd usually run. Darkseid does sometimes need a little shepherding just in those early levels.
Middle lane, how's that going? Ember Spirit 2 and 2, Quick Pain 3 and 2, nothing out of the ordinary there. A couple of denies coming out for some mail on his mid Queen of Pain, but this matchup's going to be pretty interesting to watch. While down at bottom lane, look, PPD and Fear are sitting so high up on this lane, just wailing down. This little old Darkseer. Gonna hammering, and now he might actually die. Fear's here, waiting, holding with the stun. Yeah, he's only level 1. Have the stun and the hex, and PPD only has that Shadow Wave as well, so damage output not going to be amazing. While back up the top, Universe takes the Zappin. MMY, Shadow Shaman's return to his lane. I really like this. Fear and PPD, they know that stacking and pulling is not going to do anything for them. They're guaranteeing farm for the anti-mage. They're stopping the Darkseer from scoring down as many iron shells as he wants. And Arteezy, he's doing perfectly fine now. Last thing on the tower, controlling lane equilibrium. It's really beautiful play to watch. I wonder though, the way that they're not getting levels, the way that they're not stacking, pulling, and building up for themselves, maybe worrisome as the game progresses. But if we're able to keep status quo as it is, saying they're a pretty good advantage.
Yeah, it's definitely correct that both of the supports stayed there while Lina was there. If one of them tries to zone Darkseer alone, Darkseer plus Lina just destroys that hero and then starts to zone out the anti-mage of his farm. So I think they made the right decision, and I do still maintain that we're probably won't see Lina going back to that bot lane now. Although I'm not completely sure because it's not that clear that she gets so much done in other places.
Yeah, it's like kind of awkward with the Shadow Shaman Lina. See, at level 1, Shadow Shaman doesn't have the disables. You know, you need the shackles, you need a hex or something to set up for the LSA. But Lina doesn't have that. She's Dragon Slave and she's not going to hit level 2 anytime soon either. Well, I don't think she can do anything anyway. Maybe you act as like a Skyrath or, you know, a Nagasaran and move towards mid. Spam out onto Sumail. Farming. Give Ember a bit of a better time.
Yeah, otherwise Shadow Shaman I feel like either with Lina or on his own, if he picks up a smoke once he has the points and shackles, actually a really strong hero early on for making those kills. Whether you gank into just the lane that you're actually at, try to get to that mid lane. Obviously, ganking into mid lane is not hard at all. Actually, Ember Spirit's got maybe he's got slides and double flame guard, but as soon as he gets the searing chains, if he lands the chains as you run into the shackle, it's very possibly a kill. And interesting, I've been that early point in the slide. I was actually watching the mid lane earlier. Maybe he's been trying to dodge the shadow strikes. I think he's dodged at least 2 already. So doing a good job about this lane. He's still behind, but it's a lane that he's expected to be behind in.
Bad, not bad. He does take a shadow strike now. Flame guard up, so should be okay for what at least. But look at this. RGK is like, screw bottom lane, guys. I'm gonna go into the jungle. I've got my stout shield. I need to get my soul ring, and then I'll head down there. So the plan to stop and limit the farm for RTZ has now it's come to a halt. Not able to do it just yet. DDC will stack up a camp for them.
There's that smoke on DDC as well, which is almost certainly gonna join up with MMY because I don't see him smoking anywhere on his own and getting anything done.
Apparently, Miracle has been given carry or mid Earthshaker over in the other game.
That's interesting. I guess there's people in the chat watching both games at once.
Yep. Getting all my updates from LG chat. Yeah, Sylar. He's keeping up with farm. He's done a good job up here. The one big difference, obviously, is the difference between offlaners. You know, Universe 6 and 2, the Darkseer 7 and 0, but the levels. Not easy. See where it goes for. Poor man shield. It's usually like poor man shield quelling, ring of health, go into the treads, see how things go. Try and get into your battle fury as quickly as you can. I wonder here though, with the amount of money he's saving up, you know, waiting to see, he finishes off, goes into quelling blade and ring. He doesn't need poor man shield just yet. He'll have enough money to go back into it if he does, but mainly that's to deal with the dog
mid lane.
God, found him. Sumail, good call. Dead to the gank forward.
He's toast.
Yes, did Sumail blink aggressively
It was
forward?
only a matter of time.
I don't believe that he did. Not sure. It didn't look like he could blink out to me. He got caught out by maybe at the end of a creep wave, the chains, and after that there's the stun, Dragon Slave, and actually what finished him was Glides of the Fist. A little bit of extra damage, as I think he was going to blink away. But it's actually good because I was concerned that DDC wouldn't be able to make a rotation into mid lane on his own, and succeeds in doing that even without MMY. Pretty impressive.
Maybe he just stands his ground and says, come on, fail. Level 5 Quap. 5 Ember Spirit, but Flame Guard is up in time. He's got no mana for the chains. Why, maybe. Maybe. He's dead here. He's actually just gonna die. What was that move forward?
I guess he didn't anticipate that his Flame Guard would get completely burst down by the Scream. And he's like running in thinking, I've got Flame God on me, I'm gonna go for a kill. Didn't have Flame God on him, it went on and off pretty much instantly.
And he didn't have mana for chains. Like I thought he was gonna go in, chains, run back. He didn't have mana for it. Instantly gives the kill straight back. You know, we're talking about Sumail winning this matchup, coming back into a lane he's lost, but that was maybe handing it to him on a silver platter. I was looking at the levels and thinking, okay, maybe he gets level 6 before the Quap, so that means that the Quap is not going to have her ult before Remnants are down. Now they're looking for the kill back under the Queen of Pain. The dynamic is shifting, but Blink is available. Scream, Blink back, and maybe they look for the Sonic Wave return.
Yeah, and I think because maybe he's gone for that 2-1-2 build, which is not the most usual build, that's the reason. I mean, if he had 3 points in Flame Guard, his Flame Guard wouldn't have gone off immediately.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Experience. Realizing. Fear. Into RTK. He's got the stun, he's got the Hex. Be okay. RTZ can come back. Oh, pings come out. Fear's like, hey, look, this shouting god running me down. Do something about it. Even maybe it's coming across here. Level 6, the lawnmower cometh, but they see everything coming. EG, that Observer Ward will give them full vision and full knowledge of evil at their own jungle.
And very interestingly, the way MMY has been prioritizing just getting these pulls off, getting his levels, and again, it speaks to the fact that the major plan for fighting against anti-mage this game is just to push. That's what I think. Because Shadow Shaman is definitely a hero that could be involved in these OD smoke rotations. And it seems like deliberate that MMY has not done that well. His life might be in danger here. This is a hasted Sumail who misses the Scream.
Taking damage.
With that Scream, they would have secured a kill. Scream, Sonic Wave, Rocket Flare. There's no hook shot on Universe just yet, but they wouldn't need it. They've got the damage output, and I've really enjoyed watching people copy Moon Meander with his Clockwork build. I don't know who did it first. The first person I saw really, utilize it consistently was Moon Meander, going for the 1-1-4 build. And everyone's kind of followed suit, realizing that the magic damage you get, the farm speed you get, and the ability to shove waves pretty hard, oh good,
Thou art
is
purified.
incredibly strong compared to the potential for kills that you maybe get on a support that might come to. You know, it's so much more consistent, guaranteed.
Oh, I gotta say, we talked about Silas Lone Druid not having a custom Spirit Bear, but his custom ulti animation is like one of the really creepy ones. He really looks like a, I don't know,
Oh,
some
God.
kind of sex offender. That's,
He's huffing and puffing.
he
Why is he
doesn't look like someone you trust your children with.
Why is he so thin at the bottom?
Yeah,
He missed leg
really
day
weird.
like 7 years ago. Bloody hell. Oh, maybe DDC they are going for a smoke gank. I'm gonna water away. Try and find someone, but who is that someone gonna be? Serverboard watching out for the ancients.
Dire's
Oh
middle
goodness.
tower
Snail.
taking
Went for the
damage.
8-minute rune, there's nothing there. Maybe he's already taken this. Universe under the tower, they're shoving hard into the wave. Looking clockwork, and they'll find him. AB invis rune. We go. Next chains, shackle up, and magic damage to the stun.
Radiant's top
Takes
tower
down
is
the
being
little
attacked.
claptrap guy.
Star for sure, and that's without the Shadow Shaman's level 6.
Radiant's top
So
tower is
the
under siege.
what we were calling earlier in the year
Radiant's
pseudo death
structures
ball,
are
so it
fortified.
begins, and that's
Dire's
almost
middle
certainly what this
tower
is.
being attacked.
And they've
Radiant
got
has lost their
Backup
top
plan
tower.
of Ember and all the heroes. They draft skills really well, but being able to apply this pressure, the anti-mage base draft is definitely invaluable. So I don't think it'll take. I think basically a matter of time. As soon as MMI gets his level 6, we'll see another rotation for a tower coming out of LGD.
TZ is fully free farming here though. He's got treads, poor man's shield. He's got that extra ring of regen, which is obviously nice to get into the darks here. Pin you up in between these iron shell spams, throwing little creeps. Pain's farming through a little stack here though of herself. Yeah. Pain got herself up into. Oh, what? You go Orchid? I think Orchid's pretty good against Darkseer and Ember, but like you're saying, if the push comes thick and fast, that Aghanim Scepter, just to slow things down a little bit, could be vital.
That's what I'm thinking. She needs the Aghanim Scepter because there's going to be that pushing pressure on them early on. And I think at this point it's barely obvious. This Lone Druid, even when he just stands still, the way he walks, the way he stands, I don't know, it's just, model's ridiculous.
Well, they clear through a couple of stacks here. Maybe gets himself a nice bit of gold with ROTK as well. But they're still sitting a fair distance behind the Quap and the Anti-Mage, you know? It's, yeah. MMY up at top, Sonic Wave at the ready. Sumail, you're the kill.
Dire's middle tower taking
There was a
damage.
juicy kill onto that Shadow Shaman, who hit level 6, has the Serpent Wards, and also has enough money for Arcane Boots if he wants. What I'm wondering, he saved up enough. He held on to that wave as long as he could, waiting to see how much he can save. Rushing Ags is a possibility, Blink Dagger is a possibility. Arcanes is going to be good for the sort of board you get, especially when Lina doesn't have anything to call her own, you know? They've kind of given away a lot of the farm for the support over to the Shadow Shaman and did the Lina somewhat.
Dire's bottom
Yeah,
tower
so
under fire.
In my experience, Chinese Shadow Shamans try their best to rush Blink if they
Radiant's
can.
middle tower is being attacked.
Very, very highly valued. But I agree with you, Arcane Boots is definitely a possibility when you're trying to group up and push, and even Ags could
Radiant's
be
middle
good. They're
tower
smoking
is
this bot
taking
lane.
damage.
They've just lost Sylar, and they're hoping to get on TZ in return.
Oh, there we go. He can't blink. Blink's on cooldown still. They get the Hex, the stun, the shackles, the damage is here, but the Grave equally here. And RTZ can blink away. He gets himself to safety. Back into the trees. The vacuum is available.
There's
RTK
RTK.
walls. He's got the back, but he can't see him. Anti-Mage is there. Finally, they kill him off. Well, 2-for-1 with Starless did die at the top lane. But they get the tower as well, which is something that LGD are very good at. Turning kills into
Radiant's
towers and
bottom
objectives.
tower under fire.
Yeah, it's actually, it turns out, Dazzle comes in to save Anti-Mage, ends up just dying as well. Turns out to be
Radiant's
really
bottom
bad
tower
for
is
EG.
demolished.
I do wonder if maybe RTZ could have blinked in a different direction, might have been able to escape, but yeah, it's a tough one. Working out for LGD, I would say.
Dire's top
And
tower is
for
being
now,
attacked.
for EG, I think even though RTZ's been farming well, the big positive for them is Sumail. Sumail's doing really well, and he might be able to have something to say about,
Radiant's
you know,
bottom
controlling
tower
the
is
tempo of the
being
game early on. But right now, he's getting
Dire's
entangled
top
by
tower is
Silas
under
Spirit Bear.
siege.
Gets the rune. Now, Ogre Club first is kind of
Radiant's
interesting.
bottom tower under fire.
Because Point Booster first, indicates Aghanim Scepter. Ogre Club could still mean Ags, but usually means BKB rush.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah,
under siege.
it does, doesn't it? I still feel like it needs an Ags, but I mean, BKB Rush is also kind of a brawling, get up in your
Dire's
face.
top tower is being
Crop and Clockwork are
attacked.
just gonna go at you when you try and
Radiant's
push.
middle tower is taking damage.
In the mid lane, PPD is in huge trouble again. That's a haste rune, he's definitely dead.
Maybe even throws the chains down to secure it,
Radiant's middle
making
tower
damn
is
sure he
being
dies. Up at top, Fear and
Radiant
Sumail.
structures
Fear
are
has done a great job getting himself gold, up to 1500, but look at this tower after tower. They know what they want, they know they're going to get it, and Sylar, not messing around. Not going for the Radiance build, going straight into Maelstrom.
Yeah, and now with all the tier 1s down on EG and all the tier 1s up for LGD, LGD get a lot more control over the map. They get to limit anti-mages farming, and it won't be too long before they stop pushing the tier
Dire's
2s.
bottom tower is being
They're going
attacked.
for this one. The Mail doesn't have Blink, they've got the chains, and they actually searched forward MMY, not in time. A Hex out of range.
Does have ulti up again though, so
And he's
I
got
wonder where
Blink.
MMY goes with this.
In 100 gold, he's got Blink as well.
It's pretty incredible actually. So just sitting tight early on, doing a lot of pulls, not avoiding those deaths, kill a few tier 1s with your team, and suddenly you have a blink dagger.
The Mail is definitely going for that
Radiant's top
BKB.
tower is
Mithril
being
Hammer's picked up.
attacked.
Yeah, trying to farm into his Blink Dagger, but Universe actually limited on farm himself. This offlane, it went decently for levels, but he hasn't been able to farm stacks or find kills. And the kills, obviously, is the more important one as the Clockwork. You want to be initiating, opening things up, and getting the rest of your team as active as you possibly can. If they find DPC, and they will secure themselves a kill. 3 goes the way of Sumail, and can they take a tier 1? I don't think they can, because they're going to lose Fear here. Oh, good stun. Good Earth Spike. Latches 3 for 1. Hello, Sylar. First hit and tangle, thank you very much.
You know how many times he's done that this game actually? I'm sure EG's talking about this right now. I think I saw him attack the Queen of Pain 43 times and first didn't tangle him as well. And they're for the kill where it matters as well. So yeah, one of those things, we talk a lot about Spirit Breaker RNG these days. Lone Druid's been out of the meta for a long time, but when Lone Druid's in the meta, that's people about first didn't tangles.
They can't stop it. Serpent Wars with the bear, the iron shells, and
Dire's
everything.
bottom tower under fire.
On top of taking Roshan, so what's that?
It's not even about the Aegis.
14-45. Roshan goes, and
Dire's
LGD not
top
only good at
tower
taking
is
down,
being
good at taking
attacked.
other objectives as well. Big man falls, and they go straight back to farming. How are we looking overall? LGD have got themselves 3-4k net worth lead. Nothing massive, nothing insurmountable here for Evil Geniuses. When they've got Anti-Mage, Queen of Pain, heroes that can become very active at the flick of a switch. When they have one item, all of a sudden they go from being a dozing little kitten to being a roaring tiger.
Yeah, the concern really is where is that turning point? Priority is meant to be Sumail's BKB. That's where EG is willing to take some fights. I don't think the anti-mage is going to be responsible for that turning point. We consider the way the game's going. LGD are going to go through the tier 2s, all 3 of them, in the next 5 minutes or so. And if they're allowed to do so and have that 6-tower advantage and complete map control, suddenly the game looks very difficult for EG. So I think EG need to be planning some kind of turning point to get tower trades. Maybe they start with the tier 1 top. That's something already. Get a few tower trades and maybe win 1 or 2 fights. That would give them plenty of breathing room and then EG look really good. But if they lose all their tier 2s and get just this 1 tower and a bit of farm on the anti-mage, it's already not good enough for them.
Look at how aggressive the warding is out from LGD. One very high in the top lane, so they saw the movement forward. They knew exactly what RTZ and PPD were doing. Moving on to the top tier 1, and they've also got some incredibly aggressive wards and
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
wards down on bottom lane. 2 sentries miss out on the observer ward there, and that's a mistake. That's honestly a big error,
Radiant's
not
bottom
catching
tower
that.
under fire.
But
Radiant's bottom
we'll look at the tier
tower has
2.
fallen.
A minor trade for EG, but still gold lining their pockets nonetheless. And that's Battle Fury done. With a headdress and treads for RTZ's Anti-Mage.
And he's going to be creep cutting as well, just trying to get as much pressure in as he can. Sumail and RTZ intelligently enough farming the enemy side of the map. They know that their side of the map's not safe at the moment. It's actually a blink dagger up now on Fierce Lion. So there's there's certainly some potential with the Blink on the Lion and the BKB on the Queen of Pain and soon to be a Blade Mail on Clock. There's some potential for fighting actually from the EG side, and it's going to be interesting to see what window they choose. If they decide to initiate on LGD as they're grouping up for a tower, or if they try and get a pick off in between the group tower movements.
Fail. Cliff jungling. They know you're up there, and MLG gets the head. Okay, well, we'll have this kill, thank you very much, with the Serpent Hordes down. Bloody hell.
Yeah, overstaying is welcome a bit. I think that eventually LGD were going to realize that, hey, everyone's farming our jungle. Let's go take a look there. And I guess it's probably better that Sumail goes down than if it was Arteezy. So that's maybe one consolation. There's another tier 2 mid lane going down.
Easy stuff.
Radiant's middle tower
RTK is a guy that we haven't looked at. He's got Greaves. 80% Greaves. They're pushing tier 3, like without a shadow of a doubt.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
It's crazy. They've got Blink Lion over on EG. They've got Rocket Flares, Hook Shots. They've got Waves, Weaves, and Graves. The push from LGD is so difficult.
MMY standing up here saying, Arteezy, if you show here, I can hex you. And anyone could TP in the time of hex and shackles, so Arteezy has to actually run away from the Shadow Shaman.
Little Shadow Shaman. Aggressive smoke here, desperate smoke from Evil Geniuses, looking for something RTK. Hook shot comes his way. Universe not going to miss that one. Straight line easy. Take down the Darkseer. He dropped his wall there, and I wonder if that's an overextension of his anger for being caught. Because there's no reason to drop your wall there. No one's coming in to save you.
Yeah, there's no reason, but it also doesn't matter. LGD are in a really good position right now, I think. And speaking of which, MMY has actually caught out Arteezy, and there's support coming in right here.
Oh, you're right. They've got him chain stunned into oblivion. And this DDC Lina in the 4-roll. In Europe, we see such greedy 4-roll leaders, you know? They play like a Visage or an AA. They sit on a lane, they farm, they get their Yules, their Ags, their Blinks, their stuff like that. The fear of bot lane, the line with a Blink. You can't move, you're instead up, and then Mjolnir. It's finished on the Spirit Bear. Charging you down, it's disgusting.
Yeah, as you were about to say, I think about DDC's Lina, it's actually quite impressive. It's like he's been on demand all game. But as soon as someone else goes for a kill, he'll be there to do the follow-up stun and Dragon Slave. And you're right, European Lina's very often greedier in terms of their build, and also in terms of trying to go for players on their own instead of just being the follow-up. Just kind of like the more traditional, historical, when Lina used to be picked long ago, would always be picked as a follow-up stun after a setup, and that's exactly how it's being used here. Follows the Shadow Shaman or follows the Ember Spirit.
PPD, casual bracer, he knows the storm is coming. The quiet hasn't lasted long. LGD grieves up. And they've lost their Aegis, but with the Serpent Ward, is that level 2 Serpent Ward? Oh no, he's so close to level 11. Really maybe could have waited, but they wanted to go now. Onto RTK, EGM jumps in, and oh, here we go, Sumail, Sonic Web across 3 of them with a BKB up, they can't focus him down. And in jumps the man avoiding Arteezy, clears up 2, looking for the third, Silent has him there, but it's too far behind. They don't have maybe Ember Spirit cleaving through anybody, now he's stunned up. They went for the aggressive push up, but they've been wiped. They get the tier 3.
Yep.
That is demolition from Evil Geniuses.
It's so big, and honestly a big part of that is that LGD, I think, did not expect for a second you would go on them. I think they went in thinking, these guys are terrified of our push, they're not going to know what to do. And EG had been planning it for what seems like the whole game. The fact that Mail rushes the BKB is very indicative of that, I think.
Yeah.
They've been planning that there's going to be a point at which we have to fight, and we're going to just pounce on them. And yep, they win that fight. It's a very, very big deal at this point. And I think it does a lot to equalize the game. I'd put LGD still a bit ahead, but much.
Yep. Light Striker into vacuum, that's not how the combo works. Now at this point as LGD, you've knocked on the door, knocked down the door, now what's waiting is the living room. Front room with a TV in it, you know, the stereo system. Go in, try and nick their stuff. Or do you wait it out? Scope the place out. Try and get a top tier. Try and get top tier 2. Right now, there's no glyph. You could potentially go in with Serpent Wars up in 25 seconds. In fact,
the pick off bot
they're
lane.
jumping down bot lane. Yep, you know. They're gonna go for PVD instead. The easier kill. No buyback available on your Dazzle. Maybe this is where they enter. Both lanes at once.
Shadow Shaman's got ulti in 15 seconds. And I think it's mostly just important that RTK doesn't get picked off like he did in the last push. If he's not the one who gets killed first, it's actually just huge, the fact that he can have on the fight. Because he got... Well,
Going same position again, exactly the same hook shot, this time onto DDC, not RTK. So they've got the vacuum wall, and the melee DKB is wearing it thin. Bring the bear back, but they've already taken down that one melee rank. Range ranks are going to fall shortly after. Meanwhile, Agent is destroying towers. Tier 2 up at top drops down, but LGD they're not done just yet. Hook shot's down for half a minute. They'll clear out this creep wave down the bottom lane and look for the tier 3 as well.
I think they should be done. I think this is greedy. RTK doesn't have his Greaves up yet. They don't have Resta ulti.
The back wall, Greaves in 10. It's greedy, but I think it's borderline. Like, it's not overtly greedy. It's not putting themselves in harm's way that much. Now they see the front line, though, of the DD Queen of Pain actually moving towards them. That's when they realize it's time to back up.
Yeah, I think it's the straightforward approach is to wait for the next rush, pick up a few new items on whoever's got the gold, and then just go for the second set of racks. And I think, honestly, LG are in a pretty good position to force that. And EG are going to have to do what they did in that first base defense. Especially now that Sumail's picked up that Orchid. EG are going to have to just preempt them. Because if you wait for Spirit Bear to be attacking your base and the Rasta wards to be up, you're going to lose too much even if you win the fight. So you kind of need to see LGD coming and just preempt them. And that's what they're doing here with the smoke gank. Try to get ahead of the rush or the next push or something like that.
We look at the graphs though. When you see people taking racks at, like 20 minutes or so, you expect the sudden incline from, 5,000 net worth lead to 10,000. The sudden spike of like 5k. Oh, we'll come back in a second. RTK, Orchid up, Slim Shady. BKBs and Queen of Pain is now on the retreat. Doesn't want to get ensnared and tangled and rooted by the Spirit Bear. Actually, Ember Spirit. Forward. Slight change. Mel's been caught. One ensnare and that'll secure the kill. And guess what? Silent bloody well gets it.
Roshan will be up very soon.
15 seconds.
It's,
what was I saying before? Oh my god, it's so late. I was making a point about something. Oh yeah, gold lead. When a team takes, you expect them to be like 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, whatever, net worth ahead. Then they take racks and they suddenly burst towards 10k. Here, because LGD lost that fight at mid, they're trying to recoup the gain they had before. Now they're only sitting at a 5,000 net worth lead. Sure, their items, they've got some big key items. But experience is actually going the way of evil geniuses. But the dynamic is going to be that, oh god, RTZ jumps forward, they've got the grave of the universe, but Fia's dead already. RTZ, you've got to run, you're going to get ensnared and tangled. Doesn't get the proc. With Lion and Quap both dead for a decent amount of time. Tier 3, Serpent Wars drop, this is the problem. You might have a gold deficit rolling 3,000, you might have an experience lead over on EG, but it doesn't matter if the heroes are destroying you. Time and time again, maybe Tark's up with the blade mail there, forced out by his teammate. And RTZ blinked into the cogs. They'll try and take down the Serpent Lords, but Slim Shady, Sumail, grazed into the duration of the Hex, and they can't finish him off just yet. Can't finish the racks either. These RTZ illusions, chasing down MMY.
If they can retreat, they will definitely get rush. I mean, I don't think there's a good way for EG to get rush, and it's not even that easy for EG to try contest, so it's almost a foregone conclusion that LGD get it. And then the next time they push, those two Raxes are dead. They have an Aegis, it's absolutely guaranteed. I just can't see those Raxes surviving against an Aegis push.
Maybe he's done an amazing job, honestly, without having any, big items. He's got Battle Fury, no Desolator, no Maelstrom, nothing that we've seen in the past from Ember Spirits if they do push early, Would have expected maybe for a Maelstrom just to help a little bit. He's going for the security. Going for the security of the late game a little bit here. Tanking up, Ultimate Orb, what do you reckon? Linken's or Sardi? Manta against the Orchid.
I think it's the Manta. It's also more of a pushing item. And it's kind of a balance between the Lincolns and the Skadi in terms of really expensive and just like pure defensive. Interesting to see that LGD are smoking up and not going straight to rush. I guess they expect EG to be coming out to fight them for rush, and they just want to take the fight.
Oh, they're going to find it. BOT's forward, maybe. Sees Universe, but he also sees Fear over on the side, vacuum back into chains, and Sumail jump forward. Got the Orchid down to maybe forced down back with the Greaves as well, healing them all up, and they've got no ulti, there's no Sonic Wave, there's nothing. able to do? Maybe he's gonna jump himself back and forth and run away. Someone else has caught with no BKB. Hexed and shackled and Arteezy. He gets the Mana Void, catches two, but LGD have already destroyed them in this team fight. Arteezy, the anti-mage, blinks away back to safety. I wonder though, does this stop the push? Does this stop Roshan?
Really ought not to, although I'm not sure. LGD have a lot of information. They still have a ward in the enemy base plus a whole creep
Dire's
wave.
top tower is under siege.
Actually, I gotta say, the position EG's in, that's about as good as they can hope for to have in a fight. They killed 2 cores, they lost a corner supports. Anti-mage got it out alive. Felt like it was quite good for LGD, but Arteezy did a really good job in that fight, just skirting around the edges, got a really good mana void off eventually, got out alive. I do think that, I don't know, I feel like there's pretty much no drawback for LGD just going for the rush. I'm not completely sure what they're concerned about. Should favor them to take a fight to the pit if that does come up. Surely with the darks here.
Arteezy, 5-2 and 2. 1200 gold saved up after Vlad's Battle Fury and Manta style. Now, next up on his list, what do you reckon? Because, oh, Basher Abyssal could be good. Butterfly is probably going to be great here. But, how do you feel about, like, just a heart to tank yourself up?
Again, I sort of feel like BKB is the item you have to go for if you feel like you have to be fighting. I'm not too sure. Again, depends on the urgency. If you're if the fight, you know, if he feels forced to fight very soon, he just gets that BKB. If he thinks he can farm a bit longer, he might get the hearts of the butterfly.
Arteezy's up at the top. There are only 1 racks down. Tier 3, of course, is down in bottom lane, but they've secured a good foothold here around the Roche pit. And in charge, LGD. Oh god, they really want in. Hookshot into the back, actually catching out MMY. Forces out, but the rest of the fight over in the front line, Sylar, he's being shredded and his bear along with him as they jump forward. And in goes Sumail with a sonic wave and they're clearing him up. They've got 2, they've got a couple here, but he's dead. Why is the only one to fall? It looked like they had them trapped and in their palm.
That's
But Sumail escapes, Lion dies. 3 for 1, MMY the only casualty.
Yeah, they committed so much actually to killing MMY. It was first the hook in, and then he forces himself out. And then they try burst him and Doxter heals him. This is now Rush, and that really does mean if everyone's healed up and they have all their spells and LGD push with the Aegis, I really think that's those bot racks is finished. There'll be one side left.
Like, the Greaves really make it there for LGD. The Sonic Wave, the Scream, all great from Sumail. Mana Void, great. The jump forward, great. But the Greaves just keeps them alive so much longer. I honestly thought that 3 would die almost instantly from LGD. They jumped in and found the opening to that team fight. RTK, back, walls, Greaves, everyone alive and healthy.
Yep, and there's a reason he rushed them. By the way, MMY is more than halfway to an Aghanim Scepter, which you gotta feel could be just the final straw
The nail in the
if he
coffin.
gets there.
Oh, maybe he won't even get there. The game might even end before that. Aegis up on maybe. For Spirit. In forward for the hunt. EG, defensive positioning.
Visible Lina could find an initiation, actually breaks the invis to put some more stuff. There's PPD on the side.
The hook onto and he cocks the anti-mage in! That's tilting. That's tilting. DDC will get finger down, I fear though, maybe. Chasing down after PPD and jumps Sumail. He's not going Sonic Wave though, with the Orchid up and the Scream's back, Lina buys back. Other Shaman's already dead, maybe. He's got the Aegis, so he's just gonna go in, tank up the damage while Sylar comes in from the side. Looking for the ensnare, looking for Arteezy, gets that ensnare, not gonna proc it just yet. Nail blinks back, but that's a good change, not to 2. Both of them are caught. But LGD don't want to force the issue here. They don't want to press in too far.
I think EG outplayed LGD pretty severely in this fight.
Even with the hook and cogs.
Even with that bad start, even though LG end up getting a couple of kills at the end, it's... I mean, I've been saying the whole time with the Aegis, they're just gonna definitely get those Raxes, and the Raxes didn't even get touched.
Chance to go up.
Yeah, Lina got burst down without doing much, and then Shadow Shaman got burst down with just about only LTing. Did he actually LT? I don't know if he did. His ulti was actually used to rush, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know if he ultied in that fight. The Shadow Shaman?
I don't know. I don't think so. I am having difficulties remembering what happened like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know the feeling. It's the time of day.
Yeah, just so you know, guys, we're not in New Orleans. We're not at 11 p.m. or whatever it is. It's closing on 6 a.m. It's it's been a long ride. It's been a long ride. So apologies for Failfish T-Tour's camera work and nonsense being gobbled out. It's been interesting. It's been interesting.
We're mostly saying relevant words about Dota 2.
Mostly relevant words. Dota 2 is a video game. Anti-Mage is a hero in said video game. Arteezy is playing said hero in said video.
And it looks like LG just wants to like back off a bit, cool it a bit, just recognizing that they don't want to lose control of the game completely. It's a game that they're quite firmly in control of, and there's a bit of a slip up with them trying to finish off those bot Raxes, and they regroup, they've smoked up, and they're going to look for a pick off maybe before they go again.
Yeah, you're right. Arteezy. Manta to get out of the root, but you don't have Manta to get out of the Hex, and they're gonna TP straight on in. Shackle bash. Oh god, the Grave. TPD. He graved him up. He can blink away. Oh, the Yule Scepter. Friendly or enemy? Well, regardless of that, Remnant will finish him off. Where the hell was PPD?
Unless TZ had his own Yules, it probably had to be enemy. I don't know where PPD was as well. That's a really good question because he like graved out of I don't know where.
Graved
just TP'd himself.
the hell out.
Yeah. There is a buyback on a TZ, and in this case I feel like he'd be happy to use it if he thinks they'll win a fight. And yeah, his teammates have smoked up. They're gonna take the fight. He's probably gonna buy back.
They're gonna jump in on the back. Yep, MMY's the catch again as the hook shot, finger of death will land onto him. Sonic Wave. Pretty good across them all, but I don't know about this. The Manifold doesn't do a damn lot. As RTK's got the ball down and vacuum. But LGD, who's this on the back end? DDC, oh god, you're Roger, you are dead, man.
I'm done.
Dude,
And this is 2 fights in a row. EG pick off the supports without them casting any spells. Sure, it took a buyback, and that means if LGD get another pick off on Arteezy in the next, what is it, 6 minutes? Yeah, in the next 6.5 minutes, they pretty much win the game. That's the risk that Arteezy had to take, I think. And we have seen that there's a weakness in LGD's draft, that they have this jump ability with Clockwork, Lion, Anti-Mage, and Queen of Pen. They can all jump on you. And it means that they can really just get onto the supports, and Lina and Shadow Shaman can go down without casting any spells, and all of a sudden, a lot of the utility's gone. I don't think, I mean, as strong as Darkseid, Ember Spirit, and Lone Druid are, they're not really a team on their own. There's like missing gaps in terms of what they can actually do in the fight.
Yeah, they're just pushing straight in. Like, there's no subtlety, there's no nuance to their strat. They push and they push and they push, and they do get a kill up at top here. A little bit too far up on top lane.
Theo was doing there, yeah. It's where you wanted to be in a room alone with the Ember Spirit, who, by the way, I mean, it's not just that he didn't rush Battle Free, he's like screwed Battle Free this game. He's gone Manta and now he has a Basher.
Why the hell not?
And I guess if the game goes long enough, that'll be an Abyssal Blade and it'll be an extra tool for just winning those fights.
Yeah. Killing Anti-Mage, stopping it. Yeah, the fact that LGD is kind of predictable in their movements. They send the Shadow Shaman forward to place wards down, then they have him back up, or they have him sitting at the back of the fight. At any given point, you know where the Shadow Shaman's going to be. He's either going to be at the very front or the very back. To either throw Serpent Wards down or counter-initiate with the Blink Hex. So Universe has been very good with his rocket flares scouting out Shadow Shaman. And they just jump in, 3 heroes onto 1. Get the target they need, and the scary thing is for LGD is that they have so much potential power on this support hero. The MMY Rasta. Look, straight in! Rocket flare onto MMY. They catch him for like the 4th fight in a row. Sonic Wave across, but I don't know about this. The clogs block him off. In comes Arteezy again, the Mystic. The Mana Void doesn't do too much, but it has stopped the push in. It's winning this fight. RTK dies to a couple of swipes here from Arteezy. A couple of hits even with a rocket flare that'll secure it. Gem on the deck from DDC. You're in trouble. Dead. Gone. Push quelled once again. LGD, I think they might have lost this.
LGD, I mean, they're really not learning, are they?
Go in, go in, go in.
I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it, but they're just not learning. Because EG have presented the exact same approach to defending their base every single time. We're gonna try and pick off here right at the start. They try to pick off the Darkseer, but more recently it's always been Shadow Shaman and Lina. We're just gonna jump on their supports. We're gonna kill them, not let them get anything done. And I mean, MMY actually has a blink and a force staff, so there really isn't a reason for him to stand at the front when they push. He can be pretty far back, let Lone Druid run at the front, and then blink in and drop his wards. So I just wonder whether LGD can keep cool heads. Earlier on I said that that's something that they seem to be doing after the first failed attempt to push, but now I'm not too sure. They need to just take a step back, look at what's been going wrong, figure out what they want to do, because I think they're still in a pretty dominant position to win this game. But if they were to lose 2 more fights, they're losing. They're like definitely losing. Maybe even 1 more fight. They get wiped.
I think one more, 3, 4 kills against LGD. If this Lone Druid, Ember, and Darkseer die again in the next fight, I think EG just go and take it. Next Roshan, we find out he's coming up soon. Coming up
and
in
if EG ever get a return Rax, it's like the game almost feels in big trouble for LGD. Because they're playing a lot on this pressure. To be honest, it's not obvious to me that EG just win if the game goes very late. Just that the way that LGD's built themselves up, the way they've been approaching the game, it feels like once they stop choking out EG, they just start losing. But it doesn't have to happen.
They've all ended at every opportunity. Like item decisions, movement decisions, thing has been defensive or careful. It's been planned. Everything's been planned and been a lot of sense to it. But LGD have just tried to brute time, and I think EG have, like you said, they're just outthinking, outplaying, outmaneuvering in every single team fight since the mid-racks fell. Even before the mid-racks fell, they won that one team. LGD came rushing back down to try and regain what they had accrued over time.
LG have really been trying to force this kind of pseudo-deathball approach, but I mean their heroes do allow for them to sit back and just go back to farming a bit more, I think. Certainly to a point. I mean, Ember Spirits and Lone Druid have so much scaling to do, even their supports have a lot of scaling to do. Yeah, they're gonna go for that next rush. It's gonna be an Aegis. I think this one has a cheese too, yeah. And if he wants, maybe he could finish an Abyssal Blade soon as well, which could be really big.
EG are not going to allow this. I mean, Universe goes straight. He's got them both! He's got them both! The Darkseer and the Shadow Shaman, they're all down. And Fear comes in with a finger of death. Easy take out on RTZ on the side, blink it. Aegis picked up by the Lone Druid, and Sonic Wave comes across them both. I think he can battle through this with the basher up even on him. He's ensnared, he's bashed, but he still gets the kill. Fire level 4, he will come back to life in a second. And he does have a bear still battling it out as well, but look at this. Mail, he's crushing them all. Gets a double kill, Mega Streak for him up and running, and that's easy. The Manta Style from Maybe. He's got Remnants, he's got Flight, he's got the Mana Void on his head. Tyler's little bear, Tyler's little hero, could chase down here. And that's Aegis gone. That's the potential for a game-winning push for LGD gone. And I feel like that was the fight where RTZ just goes, they're gone. We've won this game. Have to try and hold out for a few more minutes.
Yeah, and by the way, RTZ has buyback again. That's how long it's been. When he had to buy back, he's got it in 10 seconds, which is, he essentially has it. The refresh orb on Sumail. Yeah, no, it's certainly anyone's game. Anyone's game to win. There's lots of ways this could go. MMY could finish his Ags, and we could still see some kind of cheese just forcing it. Maybe an Abyssal Blade out of Spirits, getting an important pick-off. LGD could sit back and just get Lone Druid and Ember Spirit ready farmed. EG could take a big fight, and suddenly they're the ones doing their axing. I'm not too sure, but actually maybe he's picked up an Eagle song, so deciding now he wants to buy a Butterfly.
Easy basher. Look at this, Sumail, refresher. So Orchid twice, Shivas, BKB twice, Sonic Wave. Guess what? 2 of those as well. Blink forward, oh goodness gracious me, DDC. You use yourself up, but yeah, you're gone. No buyback, a minute without your Lina. And LGD, they're scrambling. They are, look at them, scrambling, running across the map. RTK gets hookshotted, and this is where EG picks them apart one by one. The Blade Mail is up. Cogs not there for 3 seconds, but RGD gets the wall. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, surges away. But Sumail chances him up. And I think, oh, RGK ticking. Charges. He's he's healing. He's alive. Barely surviving.
LGD's draft just has so much catch. So there's certain positions they just completely exploit LGD. It started early on when LGD were trying to push and EG just jumped on them without them expecting it. And we saw that over and over. And here, LGD split up on the map and
nice try. MMY, stubborn water down, damage, but Glyph is there, and his TP was cancelled. Over towards middle lane. TP not in time, and they've got the Sonic Wave twice. Another blink away is what Sumail's going to be using there. BKB and
just barely escaping. That's pretty big actually if Sumail dies there. If MMY actually has an Axe and there's no Glyph, it might be a Rax, I think. I think that probably is a Rax. And he's not that far from his Axe. He's had these components for a long time, but he's only 400 gold away now.
Who has been the MVP for EG on your... oh my god, in your mind?
On my team.
On your team, yeah. Come on.
I would say Universe.
Okay, good.
I mean, it's difficult to say who's making those calls, but I feel like very early in the game, EG could have just lost the game at that like very early push mid where they first rebuffed LGD. And Universe just went in and made it happen. Went in the Darkseer, killed him before he could do anything. And he's kind of been the main one doing these initiations every time. And if you think about it, each time there's been a push where EG just have to go on LGD and pick off these supports before they do anything, it's usually Universe has to make the first move. If he misses that hook, suddenly they can't do it and they just lose buildings. Now he's got an Axe, so missing hooks is something he can do and he'll have more hooks, but he's already got an Axe now. So I think it's hard to appreciate at the time, but each time he's landed those hooks, it's actually been really important that he did land them.
What does maybe his item build do for him? Like he can man fight the anti-mage, right? This is never what we see from an Ember Spirit. He's always spamming out Slight Fist, cleaving through people, giving you that AoE presence. Here, it's actually kind of interesting to see the Ember built as man fight hero. Go toe to toe with the AM. I don't know how well it's going to work. Oh god, bottom lane, BKB. Let's call MMY. Guess what? He was up front again. Pays for it every time. Every time.
Yeah, and this is what's really worrying for me right now. We've gotten to the point where Spirit Bear dies very, very quickly. And all of a sudden, if you're Sylar, you're wondering, should I just put all the items on my hero? Because there's a lot of farm in that Spirit Bear, and anti-mage attacks it 5 or 6 times and it dies. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've spoken at length about how Shadow Shaman shouldn't be in front. You're talking now about Ember Spirit's build. I think another reason to buy Butterfly is that you've invested in the Mantle already. In terms of the pushing power and fighting power, Butterfly is one of the better items to make your images a bit stronger once you do Manta, so it's not just to debuff, you can actually attack things. And yeah, Universe is just talking creeps all the time now. Having some fun.
Look at the dire warding Roshan though.
Yeah, but that's... I guess they're feeling very confident now. They're thinking the only way they're gonna lose this stage... Oh, I'm actually talking about EG. EG's thinking the only way they're gonna lose this stage is losing Rush, but...
Let's call Sylar.
Okay.
He is trapped. He's forced back though. Good old wall there. Now from RTK, but maybe he's back, he's hexed, he's dead, he's gone, he's got no buyback.
Dial's bottom tower is in pieces.
Yeah, Butterfly
I think
he has no buyback. Is the game just over now? They've got, like we've talked at length about their heavy pushing power, but how is their counter push? How is their push stopping power?
Yeah, it's bizarre, the situation. I feel like for quite some time, for the last 15 minutes or so, LGD have very much been in the game still. But in some sense, it feels like they've lost the will to live. They've just like, in their heads, they're just like, yeah, plan didn't work, oh well.
Hook shot from Mark. Fun for Universe anyway, but he does force RTK into the thick of things, over his own cogs and into death. Mel's looking forward and he's going to secure a couple more kills here. MMY gone. The back from RTK.
Such sorcery shall
Try and push forward, but Sumail is just zoning them out. He's a shepherd, and LGD is a sheep. Back into your pens. Where you belong right now. PPD, okay. Bash, root, bash, dead. Great RNG there from the Spirit Bear.
Yeah, now that they've lost a bunch of axes, LGD's plan is a lot less clear. Let's assume they haven't lost the will to live, which I'm saying they have. I feel like they need to kill Arteezy or Sumail without buyback. I feel like they're now at that point. We're just, trying to force a push or trying to win a fight in fair conditions. Not going to work that well for them.
Oh, when does Roshan respawn? That's going to be a big key factor here. Find out in a couple of seconds' time. Yeah, they've got no Serpent Wards for a good minute, 50 seconds. Oh, Roshan respawns very quickly, and there's your heart for the Anti-Mage. Abyssal Battle Fury. Panther, heart, and that BKB he bought a while back. He's also got 3,000 gold saved up, so... money. Tons of money.
MMY finally has Aghanim Scepter. I mean, he was like 1,000 gold away for like the last 15 minutes. I mean, when I first mentioned that he was close to it, that was still when LGD felt like they were on the verge of winning the game. And it's strange to think, I mean, the way the game feels now, it's strange to think that this game was ever in that position where LGD were in control. But they were, very much so.
Like 25 minutes ago or whatever, when he started to Aghanim Scepter, they were pushing tier 3 bot, they were looking like they were going to take racks, and they were going to end the game. It was all so simple for LGD, and evil geniuses. I don't know, they had the script or something. They knew what was coming in Season 7, because LGD, they fall down the well and Lassie can't find them. Gold graph, net worth different. It goes, completely swings from 8k LGD favored to 12,000 EG.
It was a really big call by Sumail at the start of the game, rushing that BKB. And I said I'd like an Ags and you're mentioning the Orchid, but I think the BKB was absolutely crucial. Judging when that turning point would be, when they'd be forced to take that first fight, they knew that they'd try and stall, but they'd have to drop the outer towers. They'd have to fight when their axis finally got threatened. They needed to be ready to take that fight, and they were ready, and that kept them in the game for a while. I think even after staying in the game, it was still LGD's game. But a few more good fights where EG just completely outplayed them, and we're now at a point where LGD is on their last life.
Smoke expires and University's looking again. Observer will scout out every movement he makes. Always scouting out for these hook shots, and are LGD thinking about jumping in here? I know ROTK is. Everybody knows that ROTK is thinking about jumping in here, and
they're gonna go.
They're gonna go. Vacuum back into the wall. MMY hits the wall down. Universal shots in, but it's looking okay for LGD. They've lost a little bit of HP over the docks here, but on the back end, Fear pounds into Sylar, forces him back and forces himself over the Baron to safety.
6 in a row.
As, look at what Arteezy and Sumail are doing. Roshan dies, snaps to the Aegis, and PPE picks it up. Sadar killed it, but EG got it. Maybe he's in the thick of things. Sumail blinks out just about. Back to life comes Dazzle. He's going to be able to grave up Fear. Well,
how has nobody died from EG?
What's going on? Everybody's on 20 health. Nobody's died yet, but there's one. Dazzle's dead. Clockwork's dead. But Arteezy's still in full fighting shape.
Arteezy's been regenerating with hearts in small portions during this fight because he was on like 2 hits at some stage.
Oh, they're keeping back in. DDC. Yeah, you're screwed. Ember and the lone druid are the only ones left to the base.
Well, actually, I mean, that was actually damn close. I mean, LGD actually got the rush. Imagine they got the Aegis. Imagine they finished off Arteezy at the start, or Sumail in the middle. It was actually really close. Daedalus on the Spirit Bear. My god.
Well, if they... oh, no, they can't. Oh, yes, they can. MMY, Hex Jackal. They can kill Arteezy here, and it looks like they might just do it with a... oh, okay. He's dead, right? Jackal is halfway through his duration. He's
dead.
100% dead. Maybe alive. Might escape.
So, yes, now there's a chance for LGD to win the game. If they could somehow push quickly enough to force Arteezy's buyback and then kill him again. But that's a tall order. That's like, I don't know if they're even going to be able to push quickly enough to force him to buy back in the first place. Never mind, kill him again.
Noise of the shackles, the buzzing. It's glorious. Yeah. One kill doesn't mean a hell of a lot. What? Sylar is 10-8.
Yeah, he's on his namesake. He's on the Scylla bear, the Sylar bear.
He's godlike. His team
he's
are
got
losing and he's godlike.
His creepy bear costume. I mean, how do you fight that? Just look at him waddling around. That's what it looks like, actually. It doesn't, like, I'm not convinced that's a bear. That's like a human in a bear costume, and that's why it's so creepy.
No, you know what it is? It's Undying in a bear costume.
It's Undying in a bear costume.
Look at the way it walks. It's the arms. It's the dead arms that are just like by his side.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's Undying in a bear costume. Well, LGD, this is something they tried half an hour ago, and it's something that they're going to try again. The old run down the middle lane strat and see what bloody happens.
I mean, the plan here is to get RTZ to buy back and then run for the hills. If he buys back and they get quartz, they're in trouble, and that's going to happen, by the way. There's so much catch. If he does buy back, the catch is going to happen.
Hook shot in. Actually caught with a vacuum wall. Ember Spirit jumps to the back. Antimage does buy back though. And then jumps to Mail. Killed off Darkseer. RTK is down and got the bearers. Look at the bear! It's dead. Straight up Roger. Sean is going to be off the mark there. And the Serpent Ward declared up nice. Easy gold for them.
Actually, only RTK quartz. That's pretty good for LGD. He doesn't have buyback. I don't know if it matters. It's not going to take that long to respawn.
I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not game winning.
Well, they now have 6 minutes to kill RTZ, and if they kill RTZ in the next 6 minutes, they will probably win the game. And if they don't, they'll definitely lose the game.
Run down in the lane. Maybe has no mana left. He's got no Manta, no remnants. He's dead. Does he have buyback?
Yeah, he's got buyback.
Boom, there it goes.
It's literally, it's can they kill RTZ? Not like all dying in the process. If they do, can actually win the game. If they don't, they will have lost the game very soon.
Incoming.
Must be taught.
To the land of the living. Universe, he's just getting vision non-stop. Rocket flare, waiting.
Oh, TZ's hexed, but no follow-up.
Dyer's middle
Looks like
barracks
he's okay
are
for
under
now.
attack.
Lone Druid and Ember, they didn't go in for this. There's a chain across a couple of them, bashed up as well from the sleight of fist. And oh, RTK back in, but no wall. Universe just hooked straight on in and they've caught a couple of them here with the Unsplashed Spear. They're screwed! Aghanim Scepter Fear! Where the hell did you get that from?
Dyer's top tower is being attacked.
Ruins LGD with one flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
And once
TZ's
again,
not going to be dying to see it.
Dyer's top
down
barracks
to Ember and Lone Druid. I don't think they've got it in them. I don't think they've got the stones. They're going to go
Spider's
for it
like-
anyway.
But I'm godlike.
I've got like, let me at him, let me at him. He gets the ensnare over onto Mail, but at this point your bear's dead. You have to resummon. 10 seconds or so.
This was the peculiar game of Dota 2.
55 minutes of one team is winning, one team is winning for half an hour, and then the other team is winning, the other team is winning for half an hour. Yes, the sudden swing kind of made it interesting. Game number one, about an hour long. EG take it. LGD had a crack though. They had a good old go. For the first 25 minutes, they literally had won the game. The game was over. Down to EG, down to Universe, those hook shots, the calls, the outplays at about half an hour. And after they lost that mid-racks. Going, they put the fire in their belly. But yeah, we'll have a short break, guys. We'll be back with game number 2 here in this best of 3.